Hey guys, it's Aman
And Christina
from Our Rich Journey. Today we are talking about investment news shows. In fact, they shouldn't even be called news because it's more like entertainment. And we want to unveil why we think these shows are so terrible and why people should not be listening to them. If you've seen them before, you know what we're talking about. It's one guy screaming into a camera with a lot of bells and whistles telling you to buy, sell, or it's a panel of so-called experts giving you their predictions on what you should be buying and selling. Well, on today's video, we are going to expose these shows for what they really are, entertainment.
So in this video, we are going to be talking to you about the 10 top reasons why you should be avoiding the stock news channels, or like Aman likes to call them, the stock entertainment channels, and why these channels are not helpful for you in growing your wealth on your road to financial independence.
The first issue with these shows is that they only talk about a very small group of high-profile stocks. They tend to focus on stocks like a tabloid focuses on a movie star that's going through some kind of drama. It's always an extreme situation with each stock they talk about. And in fact, they never talk about how you really should be investing for financial independence, and that is in index funds, in the total stock market.
And next, and this is a huge part as to why you should not be watching these entertainment stock selection shows, is because these shows are not geared towards the FIRE movement. Financial independence, retire early is a very new movement, and there are relatively no TV shows or entertainment shows out there that discuss the FIRE movement and the investments that you need to make in order to achieve FIRE.
If you do see anything on these shows that talks about the FIRE movement, it's always like they're making fun of the movement, like it doesn't even exist, or it's unrealistic for people that make regular amounts of money to retire early. I mean, Christina and I are proof of that. We were government employees and we achieved financial independence and retired early in less than 10 years. They're not going to talk about these things on the show, but you know what? The FIRE movement is growing very fast, and eventually these shows are going to have to come to grips with this movement, and they're going to need to start talking about the tools that are necessary in order to achieve this. But for now, you guys just got to listen to us talk about it on our YouTube channel.
And next, they create a herd mentality. They create this sense of urgency where you need to buy something very quickly or sell something very quickly. But what they don't note is when they're telling people to buy or to sell, everyone else, if they do the exact same thing, the market and your investment is going to be worse off for it.
And the next thing is, these shows don't talk about the boring, mundane stuff that you need to achieve financial independence. They're not talking about your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, your HSAs, your 529 plans, the custodial accounts. They never talk about these things. But when you're pursuing financial independence, it's really important to understand the mechanics of all of these different accounts. And you're not going to get that from an entertainment stock show. You have to go out and do your own research.
And next, these shows are headline driven. In reality, there are so many more things to talk about in terms of investing than these one or two headlines that stay on these channels for weeks. There is so much more to learn about investing than the headlines.
And this is a real problem that I have with these shows, is that they are so focused on these big headlines that they are not reporting on legislation that is going through our government every single day that affects your financial future. Tax law, laws on our retirement accounts, laws on healthcare. These are all things that are not very exciting, but you need to know about in order to secure your financial future. Next is, by the time these shows recommend you go out and buy something, it is too late. And they do this on purpose because they don't want to be wrong. It's not like they're making their predictions months in advance and then this thing shoots up. It's already gone up. You've missed the opportunity. And so by the time you go in to make that same financial decision, you see your money drop immediately.
And next is that these shows take no ownership in their predictions. They can tell you a certain prediction 1 month, and then next year they can completely forget about how that prediction completely failed, and they don't get challenged on it, and they don't have to address it because it's a one-way show.
And you know, they make so many predictions that they can cherry pick when they are right. If you ever see those shows where they say, oh, we're bringing back the guy that predicted the big drop in 2009, Well, there were probably a bunch of people that predicted that it would go up in 2009, but they got to cherry pick who was right. And they also don't point out that that same guy that made that one right prediction had 20 other wrong predictions.
And next is that these shows don't teach you how to evaluate a stock. You're not actually learning something from these shows. They're just telling you what to do, what's interesting at the moment, but you're not learning anything in particular about specific stock selection.
Yeah, that's right. You won't learn anything from these shows. You have to learn the good old-fashioned way. You must read a book. And we talk about this book, The Intelligent Investor. And it is such a great book because it shows you how to really evaluate investments. It talks about investing in individual stocks. It talks about investing in index funds. It shows you the mechanics of investing. And these shows, well, frankly, they don't have time to go through that level of detail. But if you really want to get smart on investing, you must learn by reading books or listening to podcasts or YouTube channels that go into that level of detail. The next thing about these shows is they use too much technical jargon or inside baseball speak. They are using all of these terms that a regular person does not need to know, frankly. All right, investing is actually a very simple process, but these shows can make something that is simple seem more complex than it needs to be.
And I think the reason why they do this is because they think if they make it sound more complex, they're giving more value to you. But really, like Aman said, investing is very simple. You just break it down into the basics. Invest in index funds, ETFs, everything is very basic, and you don't need a show to tell you that. And finally, these shows are only 30 minutes to 60 minutes long, and they have to create new content for each episode. So each new episode is about something new, investing in something new, but it's not focused on long-term investments. It's not saying, hey, you should invest in this, and then we'll follow that every single week for the next 3 years and tell you how that stock or that particular investment is performing. Like I said, they have to create new content in each episode, so it's all about day trading, making quick sales, quick buys, and that is not the idea behind investing for FIRE.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time, that investing is a long process. It takes time to achieve financial independence, and you're not going to get that type of information from these shows. They're not going to tell you to buy an index fund and hold it and keep investing in it and dollar cost average into it. They're not going to say those things because that is not very entertaining. But what they are going to tell you is to buy, sell, which in the end will hurt you even more because you have trading costs and you have to pay taxes on all those things. You see, what we want to get across in this video is that you can watch these shows, but don't take their advice seriously when it comes to achieving financial independence. That information is for entertainment purposes only. And technically, our information is for entertainment purposes only. But what we're trying to do is at least give you guys the information that will allow you to go out and do your own research.
And that's what this channel is all about, giving you information for you to take and absorb and take action on. We're all about saving money, making money, and investing money, and encouraging you to do the same. So if you like our channel, make sure you subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and join the journey.